In this video, I'm going to show you how to use and create light functions. Light function is a pretty interesting, really cool technique you can use to add more interesting effects to the lighting in your levels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a spotlight in an empty scene. There's no lighting right now except for this spotlight. I'm going to place it up over here against the wall so we can really see the effect that we're about to create. Okay, so there we go. Now it's important to note that the spotlight by default is a stationary type of light. It's not static or movable, it's stationary. I'm going to jump into the content browser and I'm going to create myself a new material. So I'll right click, go to material. I'm just going to name this real quick and call it light function or something unoriginal like that. And let's just go over here and let's open up the light function material, which right now is empty. So the way light functions work is they're basically materials that you apply to your lights. If I select my light, go down to the light function parameters, you'll see that I have a slot where I can input a light function material. So I'm going to go ahead and select the light function material that I created a few seconds ago. I'm going to jump back to the material. Nothing's going to show up right now because there's nothing, the material's not set up yet. So to set this up, you need to go to the material domain setting and select light function. That's going to change this material into a light function material, which allows us to only input something into the emissive color. So you see we can't do anything with base color, we can't do anything with displacement, any of that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab a texture here at random, and here's a cool little Epic Games logo. So I'm just going to drop that in here. And this is a really simple setup. All you really have to do is take a texture of a logo or whatever image you want and plug it into the emissive color. Now over here in the preview it won't look like anything happened, but something did happen. It just won't show up in the preview. So I'll apply the changes, jump back into the viewport, and now you can see that I have this cool Epic Games logo being projected from the light. Almost like taking a flashlight and putting some kind of cardboard cutout of a logo or a shape. You're going to get a shape. Or like how sometimes kids will take and start doing like bunny ears or something with their hands in front of a flashlight and shine that on a wall or something like that. This works pretty much in a similar way, just much more technically advanced, of course. So we have ourselves the logo. Now it's important to note that if you look at the texture, let's go ahead and open up this texture real quick. You notice the texture has color. It's basically silver and black, and then it has an orange little icon right there, little triangle. You notice that the color doesn't come through on the light. That's just one of the limitations of light functions. You won't be able to affect the color of the light. If you want to affect the color of the light, you have to use the standard light color parameter like you usually do when editing lights. So the light function will give you an ability to create a shape to a light. It just won't allow you to change the color. So if I switch this to a static light, you'll notice that the light function goes away. And if I go down to the light function parameter, it's grayed out. I can't plug anything in. This is because light functions only work with dynamic lights. So they'll only work with stationary lights and with movable lights. So you have to keep that in mind. If you're trying to plug in a light function and it's not working, go ahead and double check and make sure that your light is not set to static. So I'll keep this on stationary. Plug my light function back in here. Okay. And well, that's pretty much all there is to it. Now to make things interesting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a rotator. And this is going to make the texture slowly rotate. And right now it's rotating counterclockwise. If I jump back into my viewport, you'll notice that the texture in fact is rotating. So this is how you can add some even more interesting effects to the lighting in your environments. So if you kind of use your imagination a little bit, you can create your own sort of shadow cards, create light functions out of them, stick them on your lights, and then add some procedural movement inside of the Unreal Material Editor. So you have the power of the Material Editor combined with these light functions. Really, the sky's the limit with the kind of cool effects and things that you can do in your environments in Unreal 4.